Unit 8. Prose. Luther Burbank. Luther Burbank is a well-known U.S. plant breeder. Influenced by Charles Darwin's writings on domesticated plants, he set up a nursery garden, greenhouse, and experimental farms in Santa Rosa, California, and worked miracles. This write-up describes how Luther Burbank achieved his ambition of growing and grafting varieties of fruits and vegetables. What does the world call a man who turned a yellow flower into red? Who made the seeds Luther Burbank of plums disappear? Who caused desert cactus to grow 1,000 times faster? Who made a blackberry white? And who grew 500 different kinds of cherries on one tree? Was he a master gardener, a skilled plant grower, a talented and patient breeder, or a miracle-working magician? The man responsible for controlling nature in these and countless other ways has been awarded many titles, but essentially he was a simple, hard-working scientist named Luther Burbank. Though Luther Burbank is no more, the products of his genius continue to play a part in the day-to-day lives of people throughout the world. His influence prevails in the scientific community among those who work in the fields of agriculture, horticulture, forestry, and livestock. His most important contribution, however, is a lovely F lower that never existed before him. Also, he developed a fruit or vegetable the taste of which was improved with his experiment. Burbank was born on 7th March 1849 and was brought up on a farm in the state of Massachusetts. He was attracted towards the wonders of nature and learned the techniques of growing various crops and plants during his early years. But when he read Darwin's variation of animals and plants under domestication, he decided to devote his life to grow new varieties of plants. When Burbank was 21 years old, he started market gardening. He was successful in selling the high-quality vegetables that he grew on his farms. One of his experiments was, he planted 29 seeds from an early rose potato plant. He produced a new variety of seed. It became very popular among the local farmers. Its superior quality came to be known throughout, and today, this potato is called Idaho potato. It is grown on thousands of acres in northwestern U.S. Burbank found that the climate of his native place was not suitable for his work, and at the age of 26, he moved to the state of California, where the weather was mild, and the soil was rich and varied. Burbank never hesitated in the pursuit of the goal he had set for himself. He carried on his experimental and original work on plants for more than half a century on Santa Rosa near the city of San Francisco. He described his new home as the chosen spot of all this earth as far as nature was concerned. Normally, his experiments were based on three basic techniques. First, he would collect different kinds of domestic plants and bring in many foreign varieties of plants. When they were grown under different conditions, they would prove strong, plentiful, or hard, or else show other desirable changes or new qualities. Secondly, he grew many varieties of fruits, flowers, and vegetables by changing water, food supply, temperature, light, or space. Other variations were achieved by crossing plants, which had very dissimilar qualities. After the production of many varieties, Burbank came to the final step. That was, he could recognize and select the plants which showed desirable changes. He could also choose them for further experiments. His unending patience was tested all the time. At the end of his successful attempt to produce a white blackberry, he set fire to all the rejected seedlings. That pile was 12 feet high, 14 feet wide, 22 feet long, and had contained 65,000 2 to 3-year-old berry bushes. How many had he decided to keep for further study? Just less than 24. Throughout his efforts to force nature to obey his orders, Luther Burbank found out ways to increase the efficiency of experimentation. An acre on his farm yielded several thousand different varieties of fruits. This wonderful achievement was made possible by grafting many twigs on a single tree. In this manner, he was able to grow, for example, 526 different types of apples on the same tree. It was possible for him not only to save space, but also to speed up his experiments. Instead of waiting for 15 years for a tree to give fruits, he would graft a twig from a young plant to a fruit-bearing tree and get fruits in just 2 or 3 years. Burbank carried out more than 10,000 separate experiments with 600 different kinds of plants. To give a complete list of his achievements is impossible, but some of his world-famous products deserve mention. He developed an improved cherry, a thornless blackberry, a cactus without thorns that is largely used as food for livestock, and a peach tree that can withstand freezing weather. He delighted flower lovers with 73 new flowers, including the Shasta daisy and a rose that bears his name. Naturally, many of his efforts ended in failure. At one time, he crossed a tomato with a potato. Though a vegetable was produced, it had no commercial value. But his devotion was so deep and strong that nothing could disappoint him. In the present times, miracles are happening in steel mills, automobile factories, and markets of commerce and industry. Burbank worked with the simple elements of nature to produce effects that were as remarkable as shiny cars, bridges, tunnels, and singing wires.